voice, ain't afraid to shout. Make America great, tell them what it's about. Facts over feelings, cutting through the noise. Fighting woke mobs and the kids with toys. They spew their lies, they spreading hate. Lips BS ain't gonna seal our fate. No nonsense here, just straight to the point. Truth to ammo in this battleground joint. Make America great again, stand and fight. Facts over feelings, day and night.
Hey, it's To the Point with Mike, Leo, and Vince.
Or in this case, Mike and Leo. Vince is taking another week off to recuperate from his scheduling conflicts.
Listen, I don't know, but to me, Vince is getting a little too comfortable nowadays. Vince, I know you're watching. Hop on. We miss you. Long time no see. Our viewers want to see you, want to see where you're at. But anyways, guys, welcome back again. Like Mike said, I am Leo. That's Mike. And Vince, he's
home
spirit.
tonight. He's home tonight. It's past his bedtime.
Episode 112. It is April 1st. So April Fools for Vince for missing out on a great episode on this evening.
It's funny, April Fools, you know, and one of our biggest topics tonight is President Trump floating the idea of running a third term.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we've all been fooled.
I think
past year and
so.
This whole year started. I don't know.
What you're saying is the last 4 years has been in April Fools.
Until now, too, is all April Fools.
Well,
all these people are all humans and make mistakes, and they are paying for their mistakes that they have done throughout the years, and is catching up to them and is biting it right in the ass. It's biting them at, just it is what it is. It starts with everybody. It's it's only going to go for so long before it's going to bite you in the ass, and you're going to find out. Like anything, just anything, everything in life. Just if you do bad, it's going to catch up to you at one point.
Karma. Whether you believe in karma or not. I mean, it's what you put out is what you're going to attract.
Right, for sure. Yeah,
I can get down with that. So yeah, there's a lot of news. This is episode 112. It's April 1st, 2025. Episode 112 for To the Point podcast. We're streaming live on the Patriot Prayer Network. Make sure you follow us on X and Facebook and all that. But if you're not following us on Rumble, make sure you download the Rumble app. It's free. It's coming up. It's going to be the next YouTube. A lot of creators actually have just left YouTube to go to Rumble Premium. So make sure you download that app if you don't already, and make sure you follow the Patriot Prayer Network and the Indian River Connections also, which is our hometown media company. So give us a like, give us a follow. Episode 112, April 1st, and April Fools. It's like, what else, Leo? You're over there reading. You're not sleeping.
Yeah, no, I'm not sleeping. I'm never sleeping. I'm always.
We need to get you a taller tripod for your phone.
Just everything, man. Elon Musk. Every time I speak to somebody's always talking about Elon Musk this, Elon Musk that, Elon Musk this. I wish I was an Elon Musk. So people be talking about me like that, like this guy.
How would you feel right now if you drove a Tesla or a Cybertruck?
I saw one, Mike.
There are a lot around here, but would you feel comfortable? Let's say if you were parking at the Mall of Millennia, parking your car outside.
No, I wouldn't feel comfortable. No,
even with the cameras and all that. I'd still be a little nervous.
No, I'm nervous now driving just my own truck. And now, could you imagine driving somebody else's brand that they don't like?
I guess we talk a lot of shit.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've always said,
and nationally. So
yeah, for sure. But I've always said too that I don't like the cyber trucks. I don't like the stuff that he has out there. It's just to me just not attracting. It's just I want a truck.
You want one.
But I want one just because
you told me
I want one. I really do want one just because it's just that ugly and that nasty. That's just I want one just because they're that. To me, they're just not good looking. They're just disgusting.
No, they're ugly. And I think it's a major troll.
Oh yeah,
I think it's a major April Fool's joke. I mean, the thing is ugly as hell.
It's pretty ugly.
But the Tesla cars, they're pretty sharp. The beautiful interior. And I guess
I like the ones that open up with the wings and stuff.
I think that's the Model S Plaid or something like that. Or
But that
Plaid.
truck, though, I'll drive that truck.
It's so stupid
I
looking.
drive it just because it's so dumb. I even wrote down the windows in the bitch so they see that it's me.
I always said if he made a retrofit for, you know, an American standard truck, full size, like a
Right.
Silverado or a GMC or a Ford, where, you know, it's like you can pick your truck and have it on this platform, that'd be pretty cool. But then again, you know, I don't think the technology is there yet. For me, I wouldn't spend $100,000 on an electric truck that can't go 4 times the distance as a tank of gas. You know, like I need to be able to
Right.
get a lot of mileage for this
Yeah,
to make
for
sense
sure.
to me, you know, without having to spend hours waiting for it to charge again also.
Right. I heard somebody say something about they could charge some kind of something from that cyber truck or something. You could connect different ports or something like that and run like a whole, maybe like a little small studio.
Yeah, well,
Like that.
there's
I'm not
different
sure.
models that have like a
different kinds of
like,
batteries or something.
yeah, like a 40 amp breaker you can
Right.
plug into
That's
and
pretty cool.
run, you
Multiple
know,
stuff,
a
right.
whole freaking
That'd be
room
cool
full
for
of
like a
electronics.
tailgate.
I
you
think
know?
Tim Pool was at an event where they didn't have adequate. They kept popping a breaker. They had like one extension cord running out to these booths for these podcasters, and they were able to pull up their Cybertruck and run the whole production for that day off the Cybertruck's batteries.
Right.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is
I
pretty
don't,
neat.
you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Mama Bear in the house. Hey guys, nice to meet you. It's my first time seeing you both.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
I'm
Mama.
Leo.
Usually there's 3 of us, but Vince, who's usually in the middle here,
Yeah, somewhere in
is taking
between
the
us.
night off. So
Somewhere in here.
if this is your first time to the Patriot Prayer Network, make sure you give us a follow. I see
Sure.
you're on Rumble. Like and follow the channels. It's Rumble's growing platform for free speech, and it's the last beacon because even X, people are getting throttled on X. Yep, deep cycle batteries can run your TVs and stuff in your home.
Yeah, it's
Been
pretty
there,
neat.
yeah.
Not bad.
Yes, imagine like giant ass
So
technology. Now,
remember
hold on before we move on, because I want to make sure we play our sponsor too early on. But before we move on from the Tesla, they are the only company that does business in China that's not partially Chinese owned. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, and it's kind of concerning at the same time, but you know, because they always find a back door in all these companies, and to do business there, you have to have somebody on the board and something like that, and that's how they steal intellectual property. And but there's no such thing as a private company in China. Every company coming out of China, it's a business of the Communist Party. It's not my first time. Okay, Mama Bear, it's first time seeing you here tonight. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not sure which channel you're following, but we're glad you're here. So, anyways, I want to talk about our network sponsor, Shop with America. It's
sure.
a great organization. If that's what I said, Joanne. I'm sorry to get cut off. No, he's reading his phone.
Yeah, I'm reading my
He's
phone.
reading his phone. I mean, we did go to work
just
at
need
4 a.m. this morning.
I just need to put my phone like somewhere like right here because it's in a stand.
Yeah,
but it's in a very tiny small stand. So when I put it, it's like real small. So I have to like look down.
So Shop with America, it's a great American company to do your shopping with. It's a
Mike, you want me to explain it to them real quick? What
man,
it is?
you got in your basket.
Man, I got a basket the other day.
I
Mike.
just keep hearing
Listen,
more and more about it.
And it was great, man. Like they said, it was going to be delivered within 2 days. I got it delivered within 2 days. Everything that was on there and everything. just go on there and shop for sure.
Yeah, let's play their ad.
Welcome to Shop with America, where the emphasis is on America. Our movement is to switch away from your shopping with the big box stores and the mega corporations back to supporting family-owned, made in America. We've been giving these big box stores our money every day for years. But what's happened is they've forced many small businesses to shut down. We call this the illusion of choice. We see all these products in these stores, but in reality, it's only a few companies that control it all. There are thousands of lawsuits for health damage because they put profit over our people. But there is another choice. We found a better way. There's a family-owned American factory with product integrity and have always done things the right way for the right reasons. And this company outperforms the big box stores. That's due to their month-to-month shopping club. They make everyday consumer products that we all use and buy again and again, like toothpaste, shampoo, coffee, and organic beef. Go to shopwithamerica.us today.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, guys.
Set that up, and our rep with Shop with America will be in touch with you and guide you through the whole process. It's awesome. Check it out. But back to the news. I think there are a couple of interesting things. We talked a little bit. We mentioned Trump. I got some video I want to play about Trump. It's got to be an April Fool's, but either way, also Melee from Argentina is doing his own document dump, and a lot of this is in reference to Hitler after World War II, and it's released information that Hitler lived for I think it was 2 more decades after the war in Argentina. We already know a lot of Nazis that fled Europe found safe haven in Argentina. I mean, it's no doubt. The culture has now been mixed. If you go down to Argentina, which I've never been, you would be able to tell this by the German speaking and German looking South Americans. So what do you think? Do you think Hitler killed himself in the bunker in the last days of World War II? They do say that the skull tested now shows that it was a female skull. That they found in the bunker with the bullet wound.
They're never gonna give us the proper, like, the actual body for people to see. I've always wanted to see Osama bin Laden's body, but we never did. We never will. We don't even know if it's true what they said happened, that they dumped them in the middle of the ocean or whatever. Who knows? We don't know. And whenever we're gone, whenever you're gone, whenever I'm gone, whenever we're all gone, then the story will come out like it's coming out for Hitler. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're going to say, oh, well, this is what happened to Osama bin Laden whenever he was captured, and we have him here.
Well,
they're not telling us
he's
now.
Still alive.
Right. See, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Like, same thing with Hitler. Like, what were they saying back then? Where is he at now? How did the story change now? What did happen?
So, I mean, it's funny. If you look over history,
right?
I'm sure there's smarter people out there than me, but if you look over history,
come on, really,
like
Mike, look at the people we have up there
generals,
right now.
These famous kings and generals that battled each other throughout history have always been granted like asylum, or exiled to some faraway island in the Mediterranean or something like that. So I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. They with the bin Laden, supposedly we took care of his body, dumped it in the ocean so he couldn't be memorialized or martyred. Hitler, who the hell knows? I mean,
who knows? Like, I've heard that.
But what about Saddam? Is Saddam an exception, or was that even Saddam they hung?
Right,
because they did that one on TV. If you don't remember, I mean, that happened.
The moon. We also went on. We also that we landed on the moon on the TV. That happened. That we landed on the moon on TV, and it's never happened ever again. And it was on live TV. We were April Fools.
And what was on live TV?
That we landed on the moon.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was on live TV, was it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
There you go. I wasn't either.
Yeah.
Or maybe I was. I don't know. Anybody out there that was?
Yeah.
How old were you guys when we landed on the moon?
I wasn't there. It was before me, and I was born in '79. If Candace Owens can find his 2 daughters and do an interview.
See?
Are we talking about Bin Laden or Hitler? Yeah, I mean, there's so much. You know, we're always fed something to divert our attention somewhere else.
Right.
I mean, how long have we been asking for Epstein files, names and lists, and now we have control of all that stuff, and we're just, you know, the news cycle has been exciting, but nothing in that regard has been fulfilling.
Right.
Hitler,
but see,
Hitler's got 2 daughters. I didn't know that.
But have we always been able to get these files? Were these files always been able to be opened up or people to be able to see them?
No, the FBI had control of them, and
so why weren't we ever able to see this until just now? Were other presidents able to do what Trump is doing now?
Well, you would be led to believe so, yeah. But in fact, no. Do you think Joe Biden had that kind of authority? I mean, he constitutionally, yeah. Right. But when you're dealing with deep state, especially when they control factions of your party, whether they're in when you're talking about in law enforcement, like FBI,
right? Yeah,
I mean, no, I don't think they have that power.
Yeah.
Constitutionally, though, yes, a president can declassify anything.
Right.
And then
so any
people underneath him that classify things, that have classifying authority,
right,
they can declassify that based on the president's authority also. But so it's a little tricky, but really the president can declassify anything he wants.
Right? So Obama could have done it, Bill Clinton could have done it,
yeah, well,
Bush could have done it.
Not gonna
well, I know, I'm just saying Bush could have done it, Bush Senior could have done it. Anybody could have done it and declassified whatever they want to declassify because they have that power, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, so, I mean, the JFK files. Okay, look what just came out last week on PPN. They broke the news and had that insider information that there were more lies in the new set of documents, and that there was more information we're still not being told. Every time we get a little bit of information, we're still led to believe they're holding some back.
Right.
Even our own government.
So now why do people get so offensive now that Trump wants to do this?
I don't know. He released the JFK files, but
are they like in their feelings?
FBI insider information that it's not the right story either. So I don't know. I don't know if the presidents are given the right story to begin with.
Yeah, like that's what I want to know. Like, say you're president, right? And then all of a sudden you just boot it out because they're like, hey, we're tired of this white guy. We want a Hispanic up there. So I go on there. Are they going to tell me everything that you knew or that you know so that I know?
Well, that's the ideal. Like if you watch National Treasures, I think, or one of the movies, it kind of has like the old traditional sentiment to it.
Right.
But be honest, with the polarization in America today or globally, there is none of that traditional back and forth between administrations, especially since the last one was just the dash between 45 and 47.
Right.
There was no 46. We know that now. With all the stuff coming out, we know that it was the auto pen, man.
Right.
And so, like you mentioned, how do they do that? Well, when you have it embedded, the deep state's embedded, and they control, let's say, the Southern District of New York's FBI field office, and they have all that information because they covered that area. It was their evidence. But the head director of that branch just is not going to pursue it or going to destroy it, or let's not kid ourselves. The FBI under, I think it was J. Edgar Hoover, who was a freak, stockpiled countless manila envelopes and file cabinets and drawers on dirt on every politician he could.
Right.
Whether he was doing work with them or not, he had something on all of them. And that was his MO besides cross-dressing.
Right.
And but he had something on everybody.
Right.
So this was like the nature already in the FBI. And then you have these guys who think they might be doing the right thing, and they see like a Trump takeover.
Right.
And they might feel like they're saving the country.
Right.
Meanwhile, Trump was already on that with
Right.
the creation of
So-
the Space Force and all that in his first term.
Right.
For the
So talking
continuity
about
government.
Trump, what he wanted to do. So did you hear about what's going to happen or what they're going to do here with the local police here in Sebastian?
With the
With
training,
with the training, it's just a training.
right?
It's just a training. That's crazy. Because you know what? At one point, I wanted to be a police officer, but they're just it's a brotherhood, and I understand it is what it is. You know, if you don't fit in, you don't fit in. It is what it is. But if I was in that position, say I was a police officer and I was in that position to go through this training, I would always think like, how do people feel? Because there's a couple police officers out there, sheriffs, police officers, and also a Sebastian police officer from my hometown here in Fellsmere, and probably from his parents back at home, back in Mexico too. Like, I wonder how they feel that he has to go through this training.
Well, this is what I took.
My thing is also to like say, okay, I'm gonna stand with my people and I'm gonna quit, but I need you guys to support me with all my bills.
Do training.
Instead of doing the training with all my bills, I need my bills paid. I need a mortgage. I need play money. I need vacation money. I need insurance.
So,
I need
well,
all
hold
of
on,
y'all.
Let's
help
be
me out
clear
with
with the because we switched gears on people at home. So this
Right,
training
sorry.
is immigration. So
Yeah,
in Florida, it might be nationwide. Each municipality is voting on whether or not to let their police department or whatnot do this ICE FBI training, which they would have done
it's
in years past anyways. And what it usually was your department gets to send a few guys to this training off, in the field somewhere, in Washington or wherever, and they get good law enforcement training, whether it's self-defense or whether it's just psychological stuff or learning, and it was paid for. All of it's paid for. So it's not like the city has to put it in the budget to send the police department there. The federal government's paying for it.
Paying for it, right?
But the way it's worded and rephrased, it doesn't. I don't like it. I don't like the
either.
way it's phrased.
I don't like it.
But when
either.
you break it down, and I heard a police chief, our local police chief in Vero Beach, explain it to one of the woke city council members that nothing would change. Nothing's going to change if ICE comes and says we need your support on a raid in your city limits. We're gonna support them because it's in our city limits.
Right.
Not only are we obligated to the Constitution, but we're obligated to our citizen safety also. So why wouldn't we?
Right.
And thankfully we have that training, so they're gonna notify us ahead of time because they don't have to. Federal government can come right in. We saw that with all the J6 prisoners.
Yep.
Most of them were taken without local sheriff's departments, including Indian River County, without them even knowing.
Right.
So, it's a constitutional nightmare to begin with.
My thing is just the misinformation and mislead to the people and put fear in the people, because we could clearly see where the Hispanic community is at. Fellsmere.
Well,
if we wanted to pick up everybody and anybody, that would set up where the Hispanic community is at.
So this woke city council member I'm referring to was not Fellsmere, but in Vero Beach.
Right. No. Yes,
her thing was, last year we only arrested one Hispanic in our city limits. So I don't see why we need this. Like, she made it a Hispanic thing.
Right.
It's not Hispanic in this area. We have a high Haitian and Creole population that are here on extended visas that are expiring also. So it's a touchy situation around here. We're on the east coast of Florida.
Right.
You got Cubans, you've got South Americans, you've got Caribbeans, they all want a piece of America. And if you want to be here, you should want to be one of us. I'm all for that. I'm all for you coming here if you want to be an American, but don't come here trying to reap the benefits. And I don't care if you don't collect Social Security, but you pay into it, whatever. You're costing other resources too. I hate to say that, but I mean,
right.
I have to live here.
Yeah.
Abiding by the law. I have to be a legal citizen too.
Right. Like, I can't go and get things that I need because it's like, you're an American citizen. You don't deserve these things. Other people deserve it.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah. So I watched the police chief literally tell that city
Yeah.
council member that nothing was going to change. It's
I
all
remember
paid
seeing
for, and we don't even have to go anywhere now. It's a virtual thing. And it would have been like, I don't know, a couple $1 million for like 4 police officers to go through this training. And it would have just equipped the department better to handle those situations.
Yeah.
Not necessarily how to profile Hispanics
No.
for deportation, how that woke city member made it out to be.
Right? No. it's
The
not.
same woke city member had made a social media request last year for used, clean, new or used sex toys to be dropped off
Yeah.
at her restaurant for an art project that the friend was doing. And it just kind of raised red flags.
Oh yeah,
you know.
for sure. Big time.
That's interesting. If you wanna know
Anyways.
more about that. But yeah, it was the CIA that we're talking about. That was talking about JFK with the CIA.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think that's part of what Trump has kind of exposed to us, that there hasn't been a legitimate president
Right.
since before JFK, I believe, is what the one narrative is. And or maybe it was JFK. Since then, none of them have been elected legitimately based on succession. You know, like once they took one out, there's
Right.
been a coup, you know. Kind of weird stuff to get into, but I want to play a quick ad. You know, I was gonna ask Dale or Jim to jump on and tell us about the Warrior Shield Foundation, but again, I got carried away in our conversation earlier and forgot to mention it. But I do have a little ad I want to play for Warrior Weekend coming up in September 5th, 6th, and 7th, I believe. There's a concert with Bo Bice and a couple other great stars. Bo Bice, you know, from American Idol, runner-up to Carrie Underwood, I believe. And Saturday, there's like a silent auction and a gala. Sunday, I think they do a gator hunt, maybe range day. There's different packages, different admissions you can get, but check them out. If you're in the Orlando area or want to go to the Orlando area, they've got a great deal on the Rosin Center, I believe it's called. They're in Orlando, really nice place. So here is Warrior Shield, and we'll be right back after this break.
The Warrior Shield Foundation proudly presents Warrior Weekend, a 3-day event from September 5th through September 7th at the Rosin Center in beautiful Orlando, Florida, which honors and supports the Corporal Chad Eric Oleg Schlager Foundation for PTSD, raising awareness and resources for its vital mission to help our most valuable heroes, our veterans. This powerful weekend will feature live performances by country music recording artist Ryan Weaver.
It's a long way to home, but you won't take the hard road all alone.
American Idol runner-up Bo Bice.
Tired of looking down roads, wondering what I gotta do, who I'm supposed to be. I don't wanna be anything other than me.
Christian contemporary and country artist Natasha Owens.
God and country strong, give me a cowboy who knows left from right from wrong.
Florida native and national recording artist Sean Holcomb.
You just watch your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about. There's a compass and a map if you need.
In addition to all of the musical artists performing at the event, meet John Tig Tigan and Dave Boone Benton. 2 true American heroes who stood their ground and defeated armed terrorists on September 11th, 2012 in Benghazi, Libya. Not only can you meet Tig and Boone, but you can spend the day at the range, shooting and learning from the best of the best. Another hero that you will not want to miss is Colonel Gregory Gadsden, an American actor and motivational speaker, and a retired colonel and former commander in the United States Army. Colonel Gadsden is also a bilateral, above-the-knee amputee who served in the Army for 25 years of active duty as a field artillery officer. Nowhere else will you be able to meet this all-star lineup while supporting our veterans and first responders. This is an event of a lifetime, and one you do not want to miss. Get your tickets now, online, at warriorshield.org, and support those who fought and sacrificed so much for all of us.
Yeah, Warriors. I'm looking forward to that event. We're gonna
In September,
We're
right?
gonna do everything we can. We want to do a stream with two guys on one coop who are on the network on Mondays and Wednesdays at 10:30. Make sure you check them out. 10:30 Eastern time, and they do a good show. I wish we had them 5 days a week because you get
That's
used to
pretty good.
listening to that same show in the morning or in the
Yeah.
after, early day. And I wish I could do an early morning show every day, but I also wish I could win the lotto. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that weekend in Orlando. I don't know how long we'll be up there for, but because we're going to bring the kids and probably take them to a few places while we're out there. We live in Florida, so it's not far for us, but it's still nice to get away, and the kids love Orlando. So it's pretty cool if you got kids. If not, even better.
Yeah,
Not
for
better
sure.
that you don't have kids, because you should have kids, but better you get away to Orlando without them. I heard the water there, according to Dale and Jim, the water there is a little strong. So use an Uber or make sure you stay at the Rosin Center.
Hey.
So back to the news. Trump touting his third term. I think it's pretty comical. I think it's classical Trump. I would vote for him if it was constitutional. I mean,
Vote for who?
Trump. I'm
For a
not
third
thrilled
term?
of his age, but
I wouldn't vote for him.
I would, and I'll tell you
I
why.
wouldn't.
I'll tell you why I think
Nah.
the Constitution should be a little different, though. I maybe not vote for him, but I think
No.
a president in that standard should have that opportunity. So let's say, just like Donald Trump, if he was younger, got his first term, and let's say exactly what happened, right?
So let's say,
hold on. Let's say exactly what happened. Trump did his first term, then we ended up with Yoo-hoo over here, and then it's like we really screwed up. Let's get Trump back in, and we get Trump back in there, but yeah, we're only getting 4 years of him. So I think it should be no more than 3 terms, no more than 2 consecutive, though. So you can serve 2 terms and then leave office and come back for 4, or serve 1 term and come back for office and do 2. Or
not
or
all 3
off-
consecutive.
Right. I don't think it should be considerably consecutive, because sometimes you
Well-
might need that character to come in and fix shit after 4 or 8 years of the wrong guy.
Right.
I hate to say that, but this world needs leaders, and just any Larry, Dick, or Joe,
Any Joe Schmo
with
from
a
down the street.
tie and a congressional record, I don't think they cut it.
So
not
say
today.
say if you're as old or as young as JD Vance, you think 3 terms be good for him?
Yeah, absolutely. He's still young. What if he's a really great leader and he can pick up the phone and get shit done like a Trump?
So this is my view. I don't think they should do 3. I think they should stick with the 2, and the vice president of that second one should be elected. You see what I'm
Well,
saying?
should be elected. Well, yeah,
Or should be the one that runs, and the people should be able to elect him
Well,
or vote for him.
typically it would be,
You
but
know?
like right now, when they,
But I don't think they should be.
it's still early, so
Right.
you don't know
No,
if Vance is the runner-up.
okay, but
Technically, the
right.
VP, like right now, Vance is
Right.
the go-to guy. He's gonna we're looking to Vance to carry the
For
torch,
sure.
for the MAGA torch.
right.
But you don't know. It's still, he wasn't a Trumper 4 years ago.
Okay,
You know, so I mean,
I
we
never
like him now.
I don't like Trump.
Yeah, I know, but he had language out there that leads a lot of MAGA people to be like, you know, we like you, but we're also keeping an eye on you, you know,
Right.
because people have a tendency of turning
Well,
on Trump.
I know, but then there again, you know, like they're human beings. Trump, you know, how many people, females, did he grab that thing and yelled at him? You know, we don't know. That's what people are saying. They said that's what he said. And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
paid the
I mean,
female
I don't
off.
know.
It is what it is. Like people, when you're in your teenage years and whenever you're in like your college years, I'm saying because JD Vance is so young, he's just freshly out of college, not too many years ago. You know, I'm sure he was in a fraternity. I'm sure he partied up, drank beers, did beer stands. So what? He's a human being.
I love it though. It makes him human.
He's gonna do these things. You're gonna do these things in college. You're expected to do these things in college. You know, like if you're gonna go, I didn't go to college, but I lived the college life when I was living in Tallahassee. And boy, it was fun.
I would have too.
You know, it was fun. I met some frat boys when I was there too. And hey, I was never initiated or anything, and I just cruise right along, you know, and it was fun and it was cool. And you did stuff like that, you know. But say if I'm running for president, it probably haunt me forever that I was hanging out with so and so at a fraternity house and I never paid dues and I never did this and I never did that. And it's like, come on, man, I was a human. We're all human beings. We all live this stuff. But anyway, back to him. I'd vote. I you know.
I mean, let's say it's Trump or AOC. I mean, this is the world we're living in.
I know, but there's got to be somebody else than Trump that's lined up right next to Trump. That Trump's got to be, listen, I'm going to endorse this guy. I can't run anymore, but this is your guy you need to vote for. If you're not going to, you can't vote for me, but vote for this guy. You know, that's who I would want Trump or want somebody else to do it. But I disagree with the third.
Mama Bear's in the house says, my 18-year-old daughter said that Trump shouldn't have a third run.
No, he shouldn't have either.
We are very pro-Trump, but for her to say that, it kind of blew my mind. I agree with your daughter. I agree. He shouldn't have a third run, but in the world we're living in, like I said, we might not have many choices.
Yeah.
It's not a choice now.
No.
I'm not saying it's actually feasible. I mean, there is talk about Vance running with Trump as his VP and then him resigning, because there's nothing that says he can't be VP and assume.
Ooh.
So, I mean, to me, I don't think they're going to go that route. I mean, that's just but it is getting the news talking.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you know, Trump should get JD Vance in line and in those tracks ready for him to hop on that Trump train and be like, hey, you're the captain. Let's go. Yeah. Put your captain hat on, and I'm gonna let the world know, and I'm gonna let the people know, hey, this is it for me. But if you guys want this stuff to continue, you guys want the agenda to continue, this is your guy you need to go vote for.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I feel. That
Joanne with Binford Chronicles said we have 3 years to vet people. I disagree. You only have a year and a half. And you might that's even pushing it, because
and then
midterms coming up is going to be the test as to where Vance is. And not to say, you know, things can't change within the time frame up to the start of the next election. It's, you know, a lot can change.
And good thing that Joanne said that, you know, because I'm thinking just now that she said that.
And we don't have a good track record of vetting either.
Right.
Republican candidates.
And good thing she said that, because it just makes me think, okay, who is going to be able to vote for, who's going to be the first voters during that election? Like, we have to go back and we have to go and see who's at that age now and what are they soaking in? What are they talking about? You know, I think that's another good topic that we could probably talk about, you know, because it's like those are the people we need to focus on, because they're going to be first voters coming up, you know, so we need to keep an eye on those people and be like, hey, who are you voting for? Not who you voting for, but like, hey, this is what's going on in the world and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know what you meant, Joanne. It's but like for me, it's like time is running out, and JD Vance, he is so far so good. I agree, especially because of his age.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
he likes 50 Cent, Tupac, all those. You know, he grew up with all.
Yeah.
you know, I mean, he's just around our age, you know, just a little bit younger or older than me, by like I don't know 7, 8, by 3 years, you know,
Yeah.
older than
So
me.
so what is he? 40?
He's like 39,
39?
40. Yeah,
Wow.
he's
Yeah,
young,
I mean,
man.
he could be the youngest president, right? Or was Kennedy younger? Or was Obama younger? I don't know.
No, he might be the youngest. I don't
He
know.
might
Well,
be
if he's
if he
39,
gets elected president.
39, 40, 41, 42, 40, around 40, 42, 43, if he would run. That's also too, if he would run, he might not want to run after his 3 years that he's got or left or whatever. You never know. People change, man. People change. He could fucking totally go the opposite way and be like, you know what? I don't want this.
I don't know what generation Mama Bear in the house is from, but I'm 45, so to me it feels crazy. You know, like,
I'm
I
37.
in 4 years we might have a president that's, you know, in his early 40s. You know,
Yeah.
and to me that's encouraging because
Oh,
again,
yeah, for
like
sure.
if they do amend the Constitution to something like I said, you know, you could have good leaders out there that really take us into the next generations. And I agree. Trump personally shouldn't have to run for a third term.
Yeah.
You know, he's old enough. He didn't have to do the first 2 or the first 3 runs. You know, I don't think he should do it anyways. You know, not just at his age, but I think he's sacrificed enough. I mean, the bullets are flinging at him. You know, you're 46. I'm sorry, I shouldn't put that on screen. Tell people, but I'm 45. So
37.
yeah, you know, so having president
It's just an age.
millennial is kind of like, wow.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm proud. You know, be like,
Yeah.
damn, but this guy did it. Anybody can do it. Anyone can do it.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
have to be the
Well,
right person.
we got
you just have to
carried
be the
away.
right person.
We got carried away, but here is Trump making comments. I have a couple videos I want to play.
Story. I know it's hypothetical right now, but if you were allowed for some reason to run for a third term, is there a thought that the Democrats could try to run Barack Obama against you
I'd love
for
that.
his third term?
Boy, I'd love that. That would be a good one. I'd like that.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would finally tell us what they said at the funeral for
Well,
what their little side
and it
meeting
wasn't the
was
first
about.
time he was asked about it. Of course,
Nah.
you know, I almost think, yeah, it's all good. I almost think his comments like this are intentional, you know, and I almost think Steve Ducey might be in on it. Here's them questioning Trump on Air Force One.
In terms, is it your understanding that they have to
I don't
be?
even want to talk about it. I'm just telling you, I have had more people say, please run again. They said, we have a long way to go before we even think about that. But I've had a lot of people. Yeah, go ahead. Did you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, do you think that's an appropriate precedent to set, even if it wasn't you in this position, to see a president serve a third term?
I don't want to talk about a third term now because no matter how you look at it, we got a long time to go. We have a long time. You know, we have almost 4 years to go. And that's a long time. But despite that, so many people are saying, you've got to run again. They love the job we do. Most importantly, they love the job we do.
Yeah, and they do, but I don't think everybody wants him to run a third term, you know. But what are they not talking about now?
Yeah.
Some stupid signal hack that was a plant to begin with. You know, they're not talking about other things in the news we don't want to talk about, you know, or other fake news. So they just drowned it out, all that fake news out there. Now everybody's talking about this or Hitler, you know, or Elon Musk, you know. So it's a cat and mouse game when it comes to media, you know, and what you comment on. And this is Caroline Levitt, I think. Am I getting her name right? I don't know.
Used to potentially run.
Oh, hang on. Let me take that one off. Let's throw this one on.
There are methods there.
Look, you guys continue to ask the president this question about a third term, and then he answers honestly and candidly with a smile, and then everybody here melts down about his answer. The president was talked about this last night on the plane. He said, it's not really something we're thinking about. He has 4 years. There's a lot of work to do. We've done a lot in these nearly first 100 days, and the American people. particularly when it comes to efforts to secure the border.
How confident is President Trump in that he can get a peace deal done?
Yeah, so there you have it. I mean, you ask,
Yeah.
you ask the president, and you know what he's going to say, and then you complain about what he said. I think
Right.
it's funny, but I think
Right,
it's like how they control the narrative too.
Right. But it's like, if you know I'm a wild man at a party, why are you going to invite me to the party? You
And
don't
then
want me to be
complain
wild.
about me.
And then complain about me.
Yeah.
You know, like, come
Drinking all
on,
your
just
beer.
don't invite me in the first place.
Right.
You know, I'm a drunk. Don't invite me because I'm gonna be a drunk at the party.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're not looking for that answer, if you're not looking for that answer that you want to hear, then don't ask a silly question and get a silly answer. How about that?
Joanne has a good point. With all the TDS people out there, he would be in more danger than ever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, like the
Oh.
bullets at him now. Like imagine that.
What?
Imagine all the snowflake tears in a third term. Before we get on to our last story of the night, we just cracked 1,000 views.
Thank you.
We want to say thank you. If you're still watching live, make sure you hit that thumbs up or like on whatever platform you see us on. If you would, drop a comment where you're watching from, and we'll be sure to follow you back, and hopefully our followers will follow your channels and whatever socials. Streaming live on the Patriot Prayer Network, following us at thepatriotprayer.com or on Rumble, the Patriots Prayer, on X, tothepoint.com, and the Patriot Prayer. Also, everywhere you find your podcasts and video or audio, you'll find the Patriot Prayer lineup, like Two Guys, One Coop, To The Point Podcast, Patriot Confederation, the Patriot Prayer Podcast, and Cowboys and Indians with Maurice and Steve. So check them out. Great lineup of Patriots and a variety too. We don't really do the interview thing. We do like to sneak in an interview every now and then, but we like to talk shit about the headlines. You can find more of our work at IndianRiverConnections.com, and you can follow those channels too. It's a local media company kind of putting out similar content, but a little more grassroots stuff and local stuff, but growing too. So we look forward to making more content. Back to reality, or the lack thereof.
Epstein.
We mentioned the Epstein files and all the bullshit. You know, do you think you'll ever see arrests for it, other than the Ghislaine, whatever her name is?
Probably not.
No.
To be honest,
obviously,
no,
based
not.
on your air freshener, I know you don't believe Epstein hung himself.
Nah. We all know that man didn't hung himself. Like, we literally all know he did not do it.
Right? Joanne said,
somebody somewhere out there took that or is going to take that to their grave. You know, like, it's
more
just,
than people. Well, one of the hey Corbin, my son just walked in. One of the notorious victims or survivors of Epstein Island,
right,
has been pretty famous.
Yeah,
she's in pictures with princes and stuff like that. Virginia Guthrie is what she was known as, I believe. Since being married, Virginia Roberts. She's been living in Australia. Obviously, life has not been very easy for her. She's been exploited by Epstein, and you can see the woman to her left there, who's now not hanging herself, currently in prison, probably in New York somewhere. So
probably next to Diddy.
I don't even know how to say her name. Maxwell, who's got ties to Mossad. Her dad was Mossad. He had a media company in England or Great Britain, and it was just a whole shit show. Now that we know Epstein's all tied in with Mossad, which is we've got more reassuring evidence in the last batch of files that had just came out. Well, I mean, not suitable for children, and if you have a weak stomach, turn away for a second. But this is Virginia Roberts right now. Currently, she posted yesterday on Instagram that the doctors gave her 4 days to live. She is suffering from, I think, adrenal kidney failure. She suffered. She was hit by a bus I believe her car in an intersection. Bus didn't slow down at all for a turn that the bus was making and went directly for her. A lot of people are questioning.
Was it planned for that bus to hit her?
Yeah. Now knowing the knowing the ties to Mossad and all of that in with Epstein and JFK and all the other crap we're seeing.
Yeah,
It's pretty sad. I did have another.
It is, I mean, it could have been planned from stopping her from speaking more than, they want her to keep speaking about, the case and stuff like that. But I don't know. Shit happens, and it could have just been totally an accident, and it just happened to be her, the wrong place at the wrong time, But then there again, shit, somebody must have had to be just perfect timing. Hey, she's gone. She left now. This is the time to. I don't know. I don't think it could have been planned that perfectly. Look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
But is it really her though? Is it AI? Just her just trying to get more publicity because it's kind of fading away now, and it's not on the TV anymore as it was at one point and stuff like that.
Well, I
mean I don't want to.
What
think
kind
like
of publicity are you going to get by saying you're going to die in 4 days?
Well, I mean, here we go. The publicity that we put it on our page now. That's kind of the publicity she wants. Now we're letting people know.
I think we'd be more in line to assume that she's, if not actually dying, faking her death, maybe, so somebody doesn't come try to kill her.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that too. You could be right.
It could have been an accident that they might be taking advantage of. I hope she's not dying.
I hope she's not dying either.
I followed her on Instagram. I wasn't aware of that actually, but looking through it, she's been going through a lot. I don't know if her kids have been taken from her or what. Australia is not the best place to be. But pray for her, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody wants to see.
She already been through so much back then, and now she's got to go through, something else different. It's just crazy. Hopefully not. It's not.
Yeah, that's Prince Andrew, whose brother is now king.
Right. You know what's crazy?
And who's
though, Mike?
Pretty much removed him from the royal family.
You know what's crazy though? Look at the picture and look at the flash in the back. How come you don't see the person in the flash in the back? You normally could be able to see something reflection of who's taking the picture.
Well,
that's crazy.
Who do you think it was? Clinton?
I don't know.
Was it Bill?
I don't know. But they look pretty happy there though, don't they? Look at them. Look at the lady in the back. She's leaning on there like she's like, "Yep, next." Like she just came out of somewhere saying, "Okay, next."
Joanne said it would be smart for her to hide. The Epstein files are up again. Yeah. And
for sure, that's what I'm saying.
The Clinton body count is a real thing. Mama Bear's in the house says Virginia has spoke so openly about this. I hope that she's okay.
Yeah, I hope
me
so,
too. I hope that she is faking her death and she's gonna move somewhere else. And live out her life with her children. And that looks like a car headlight. Yeah, I don't know. This was probably back in the 70s. No, I want to say maybe the 80s or 90s because
we'll say 90s, Mike. Look at the styles.
Yeah, 90s because I believe she's about the same age as me.
Is she?
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate. How many other women?
Hey, listen, Mike.
How many other little girls though?
How old was she?
There like that? Right there, she was 17, I believe.
Oh wow!
When she was exploited to not just Epstein, but Mike, to Prince Andrew.
But none of those are bad-looking people, though. Look at that. And that's what it is. Like just because
they don't look bad,
just
don't
because
look like
they don't
bad people.
No. Well,
he's a prince. You wouldn't think he's a bad guy.
And that's where
he doesn't have a towel on his head.
And that's where I was gonna. And that's where I was gonna go. Just they're good-looking people. Not just because they're good-looking people, it doesn't mean they're mean. They're evil. Like evil dresses up nice. They look good.
Don't get me started on.
I'm just saying, man. I mean,
the cathedral reopening.
Like, look at this, man. Like her with all the, just. Of course, you're young at that age. You're 17, 18. You see all these flashy things that these people have made it. They're the same color of your skin, and you need to get somewhere fast to grow to make the same amount of money. You know, it's a pyramid, but a sex pyramid was what it was. You know,
it's a psyop because just like J. Edgar Hoover with the FBI, you've heard congressmen talk about it on some of the interviews on our channel that they won't go anywhere alone in Washington because next thing you know, you'll be drugged, or not even drugged. You'll just be lied about that you went to dinner with somebody else that just happened to be at the same place, you know, and then they fake some pictures, you know. So, you know, it's real out there, you know, and personal, like blackmail, evidence on other people, dirt is real, you know.
And not just that, because I have a daughter myself, you know, and it's just like, man, you know, like it's just, I just got to teach them, you know, like show them just because these people look nice and clean and doesn't mean, you know, you need to go with these people. Like,
man, let me tell you, it's scary. A story was told to us about a mom who was walking around the complex with her 4-year-old, and they got invited to a birthday party, and she didn't want to go yet, but the kid, you know, the lady took the kid, and they went back, found the kid was cut open, and all the organs were harvested. And whether it's a real story or not, it happens.
Yeah.
You know, the woman didn't go, or she probably would have been harvested too. It happens. It happens in South America. It happens everywhere. And that kind of stuff sits in the back of my head as a daughter, you know, who was crying earlier because she wanted to go to her friend's place to play in the field at the apartments. And it's like, I don't know anybody there. You don't know how to protect yourself. And, you know, there's bad people out there.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they are, but, you know, I can't get to you fast enough to save you. So sorry, I'm not letting my 9-year-old go sleep over or go play in a field and just drop you off. No, not happening.
I can't.
But some people have been suckered into doing this with their children.
But if you think about it,
know, like it's going to make, you know,
right.
Like these girls, imagine sending your teenage daughter away to go work at a resort that's going to help her build her modeling profile. You know, and that's how a lot of these girls got victimized with Giselle and Epstein.
But that was so big back then in the 90s, though, Mike. Like it was so big that you would take
you
your
don't
kid,
think
you would take your
15, 16-year-olds wouldn't do that today, though, for fame and fortune?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. They still do. I mean, look at the one pages that they go on the, what is it called? That make more money than some CEOs, the OnlyFans page where they sell their toes and their fingernails and stuff like that, you know, like it's scary, man, because it's like they don't have to go and be in person anymore. Like it could just be like how we're doing this podcast right now, just camera to camera. You could be somewhere else, but still get violated and still feel bad and still feel, you know, that female or that male, because it can happen to males too, not just because you're a female means it can't happen to males. It can happen to anybody. You know, it can happen to a little boy, a little girl, me. It can happen to anybody. I'm just saying, you know, like it's out there.
Yeah.
You know,
we only got a few
shapes
minutes.
and forms.
I hate to cut you off. Joanne actually texted me, and there's an important thing our representatives are voting on right now. It is House Bill 38, nationwide reciprocity. I can't pronounce it right ever, is being voted on. Call your reps. The name is Constitutional Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act. It's back on the table, referred to the House Committee January 3rd. It's being voted on tonight. It's a national issue. It's in the works, so we need to call out the reps and get it passed. 178 co-sponsors. So if you have access to your representative's phone number, if not, there's ways of getting it pretty easy. Call and tell them vote on the Constitution, not on the narrative. Other than that, man, I think it was a pretty good show. I did want to mention that Doge is going to be looking into the wealth of congressional members and how they go from, you know, a couple 100,000 in the bank to a couple 100 million in the bank after serving 4 years with a $200,000 salary. So look forward to that also. But for us tonight, I think that's it. I think it went pretty good. We're pushing up against an hour
pretty
already.
Good, Mike, man. We are expert at this stuff now, man. Thank you guys for tuning in with us, man.
Like and follow.
Yeah, like and follow any platform you listen to. And if you don't find us there, make sure to comment and let us know that, hey, you guys missed the platform, or we need you guys to talk about a topic, comment. Just comment below. Give us a question mark. I'll comment back, be like, what's the question mark for?
Anyways, thumbs up, like,
Hey,
thanks,
thank you
Mama Bears in the house. Thank you, Joanne, for the comments. Truthful Troll, if you catch up with us, we're missing your comments out there. No excuses. So we'll see you guys later. Make sure tomorrow you catch 2 Guys on One Coop at 10:30 Eastern Time. Peace out.
Wow.
Welcome to the Patriots Prayer Network. Here, we don't just play to your feelings. We're rooted in honesty, and our foundation is based on Christian values, conservative beliefs, and a no-holds-barred approach. So, if your feelings clash with reality, it's not reality that needs adjusting. Are you ready to be part of a movement that challenges the official narratives, confronts the overwhelming tide of misinformation, and calls out wrongdoing wherever we find it? If so, you're in the right place. See, truth is our compass, and God is our only judge. Right and wrong mean more to us here at the Patriots Prayer Network than right and left do, and a complacent blind acceptance of the status quo will not be found here. We do not believe things are this bad in our country merely by accident. So, we investigate and dive deep into each episode and tackle pressing issues head on. Many podcasts claim they're unfiltered, but we mean it here. Go to thepatriotsprayernetwork.com.